Good morning. It is Thursday the 5th of September. It is just coming up to 10 o'clock, so I'm going to go out today and do a bit of a day shift. I haven't really done like a full day shift. I've only ever done like a couple of hours in the morning or a couple in the evening or late afternoon, so yeah, I'm gonna stay out for the majority of the day and see what it's like, really. So yeah, not really sure what to expect. If it's going to be quiet, busy, no idea. So I shall keep you updated. Sure. Quick little update. It is 20 past 11, so I've been going an hour and 20 minutes, and it is really slow. I'm only on £17.25, and I've had 3 jobs. Yeah, only 3 jobs. I thought it was 4, unless one hasn't popped up. First one I had to wait about 10 minutes for, and then it was an £8.05 job for 3.5 miles, Ormskirk to Ormskirk. I then got another small job, £3.75 for 1.7 miles, Ormskirk to Ormskirk. That I had to wait like another 10 minutes for, so I thought I'll head into Southport, see if there's a bit more going on. As I came into Southport, I got an XL, which was £5.45 for 0.4 of a mile, so it was just one guy, but he had a couple of tools. I think he was a plasterer. He'd been on a job up here for a week and he was just going back to the train station, so basically just filled the boot up with all his kit and dropped them off there, and that's it. It's just been so slow. Granted, I've known from what I've heard and watching other YouTube clips and whatnot, it is, you know, it's the dead hours really during the day. I've probably come out at the worst time, which is, you know, like 10 till about 2 seems to be really dead. So yeah, I mean, 17.25 for 1 hour 20 minutes, so it's not great, to be honest. So I'll stay out for another hour or so, see if anything's going on. If it's just completely dead, I might as well just nip home and just come out again for like the rush hour this evening. I don't want to just sit around doing absolutely nothing and earning like £10 an hour. It's just completely pointless, to be honest. So that's about it. Nothing else to report, just them 3 jobs, bit boring and slow. Yeah, that's it. So I'll catch you in a bit. Quick little update. Last one was 20 past 11, it's 10 past 12 now, and I've had 1 job, and even that was a small job. It was Southport to Southport, £6.62 for 1.9 miles and a £2 tip, so £8.60 in an hour, which is diabolical. So I'm not too far from home. I think I'm going to head home for a little bit and then come back out more towards the rush hour, because it's ridiculous just waiting around for nothing. Probably would have done more if I would have headed to, I don't know, maybe like an airport and went and sat in the airport queue maybe. Just trying to click on it now. Even that looks really quiet. If I look at Liverpool now, it says there's only 11 to 15 Uber X's, 1 to 5 XLs and 1 to 5 XLs. Long wait, 30 minutes plus. Yeah, so even that's seems quite quiet as well. So yeah, I'm gonna head back now, unless I pick something up decent on the way back and, you know, I'll bounce from one thing to the other. But if not, I will give you an update when I come back online. There's no point me giving you an update just to say I've got home. So I'll catch. Good afternoon. It is 4:15 and I'm just coming back out now. So before, when I came back, got back around 12:30, so I've been out for about 2.5 hours. I did get 1 tiny little job on the way back. It was like a trip radar. It was like 200 meters away from where I was. Little tiny job, £3.73 for 0.6 of a mile, and then came back. So basically this morning, for the 2.5 hours that I'd done, I got £27.60. So feels kind of pointless, to be honest, for when I come out. So I'm just about to go online now and head off out. Yeah, hopefully things improve this afternoon going into this evening, but I shall keep you posted shortly, so stay tuned. Quick little update, it is just coming up to 7:15, so it's been 3 hours since the last update. Been busy, but all the jobs have been rubbish. That kind of makes sense. So we came on at 4:15. 1 second. Where are we? 4:15. So the first job was 7 minutes later. Was Ormskirk to Ormskirk, £7.12 for 1.3 miles. And then I had an Ormskirk to Ormskirk, £3.63 for 1 mile. And then had an Ormskirk to Ormskirk, £4.44 for 1.3 miles. I then had an Ormskirk to the outskirts of Wigan, £8.28 for 4.5 miles. I was then running for sorry, I've signed up to that A1, is it A1 taxis, is it? So I'm just getting used to like this bidding that comes up. So it's come up saying like there's a job tomorrow, 8:10 in the morning, pick up Prescott, deliver to St Helens, 2 passengers, £35, which isn't too bad from Prescott down to there. I'll accept it and see what happens. Can I even make that? Oh god. 8:10. Should be able to. I'll come back to it in a minute. I'm just getting used to it. I'll come back to that in a minute. So where was I? Yeah, I was then running to... I was on my way back to Ormskirk from that job, and a job had come up, but it was like 8 miles away, and I had accepted it by accident. I don't like to cancel them, so I thought, well, I'm heading to Ormskirk anyway, I'll do it. But I was thinking, I hope the customer cancelled, because I was over 10 minutes away. So luckily they cancelled, and I got £3.25 for it. I then had a job not too far away. It was pretty much 2 minutes away from where I lived. It was £8.12 plus a £1 tip, going 1.8 miles, so that was okay. I then had Ormskirk to Ormskirk. That was £9.02 plus a £1 tip, so £10.02 for 2.7 miles. I then picked a guy up from the hospital in Ormskirk, or Wren Acres. He got in and he said, my train leaves at 6:36, and the sat nav said I was going to get there for 6:36. So I said, well, you know, I can do the best I can. So we managed to make up 2 minutes in time, and as we pulled up, his train was actually there, so we got out round and made the train. That was £9.76 for 4.5 miles. I've then just done a Skem to Skem job, £8.28 for 5.3 miles. And then I accidentally accepted a job. I thought it was Ormskirk to Ormskirk, but it was Wigan to Wigan, and it was miles away, and the rate wasn't that good. What happens is, if you're driving an XL, you're constantly getting offered jobs that are miles away, like ridiculous miles away, and Uber are just offering them purely because obviously they haven't got any XLs, so they're thinking, well, he might just take it. So it was something like, it was like 9 miles away or something. It was like a £4 job, and then I was going to be in the middle of Wigan city centre, so I had no choice but to cancel that. So for today up to now I'm on £98.79. I came out before at 4:15 to 7:15, so 3 hours. So I'm on about £20 an hour for that since I came out. Now if you add this morning as well, I've done 10, 11, 12, I've done about 2.5 hours, so I'm on 5.5. 98.79, 98.79. So it works out around £18 an hour if I'm including this morning's as well. So it's yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, this evening's been obviously a little bit better. £20 an hour, you can't really, you can't complain too much, I suppose. It was just this morning was just awful. So anyway, over onto this A1 school runs, it's called. So I signed up to that because a lot of people had, hoping they can get you some like school runs pretty much as the schools have opened back up for in the dropping off and picking up. But what I've noticed all day, it's been pinging up saying bidding, and obviously when I've been at work and I haven't been able to stop, the app logs it out every time, so you have to log back in. It's a bit of a pain, to be honest. So this is the first time, as you've just seen then, when it's popped up. This one came up. It just basically says all the details it gives you is the date, which is tomorrow morning 10:08, any vehicle, gives you the pickup address, which is Prescott, drop off, which is Rainford, St Helens, 2 passengers, no bags, gives you the passenger name, the client name, distance, which is 11.4 miles, and it says commission £35, but it's 11.4 miles. So let me just quickly see how many miles that's going to be for me to get over to Prescott. So mileage for me, wow, that's further than I thought. I'll probably have to cancel it. I think when you cancel it, it just goes back into the pool for other drivers. Basically it's 18 miles for me to get there. So obviously with the other 11 as well, I'm on 29 miles, which still isn't too bad if you compare it to Uber, but it would take me half an hour to get to Prescott in the morning, and then from Prescott to Rainford it's going to take what, 10 minutes or so, if that. Let me just have a look at this map. It's taking you the Scenic route on that map. I don't know why it's not just going down the not too sure. I'll have a little think about it. Yeah, I want to do one just to see what their system is like really, and how quickly you get paid and whatnot. I think like primarily a lot of the drivers seem to be in and around like Liverpool, whereas I'm like basically West Lancs, so I don't know if this A1 School Runs has got many, if any, contracts for West Lancs, because this client name is just down as Knowsley. So yeah, I might do it. Not too sure. So anyway, I will keep you posted shortly, and see if anything picks up or if it's too quiet. If it's too quiet, I'll just go home. So I'll catch you in a bit. Final update of the evening. Just got home, it's 9:15. The last update was 7:15, so Let me just scroll back here. So I had, after that was an Ormskirk to Ormskirk, £6.75, and that was 1.1 miles. I then had an Ormskirk to Burscough, £4.30 for 1.3 miles. I then had a Burscough to Ormskirk, £6.58 for 4.4 miles. And I then had a Ormskirk to, it said Bootle, but it was basically like Switch Island. It was like 10 seconds away from there. I wasn't sure. I didn't realise, should I say, that was the outskirts of Bootle. Anyway, that was £10.96 for 8.2 miles. And then after then, I've just gone to the chippy and come home because I'd had enough. One of them jobs that I had, which was a Burscough to Ormskirk, it was a guy who, he said he'd been banned from driving for drink driving. So he'd used Alpha taxis a lot during that period. He said they actually called him because he was such a good customer. He'd given them so much business, and they said, "Oh, we're currently doing a podcast, and we'd love for you to come on, and so we can ask you a few questions about, you know, how good we are and whatnot." He said, "How good you are?" He said, "You're absolutely load of shit, and you're this and you're that." And he was like, "Well, what do you mean?" And he said, "Well," he said, "one time," he said, "I booked a taxi." He said, "And I waited 45 minutes and nothing turned up." He said, "And I phoned up and told it would be another 15 minutes. And then nothing came." He said, "And then he's called me and said, 'Oh yeah, we're not going to be able to send a driver to you because there's no availability.'" He said, "So since then, I've always just used Uber." He said, "Like, I book Uber," and he said, "and you turn up after about 4 minutes." He said, "So like," he said, "I'm all for supporting, you know, local businesses and companies and whatnot." He said, "But it's pointless." He said, "Because they're fighting a losing battle, and they can't take the likes of Uber on. They're just not going to win." So anyway, he's fully converted over to Uber. So for total for the day is £127.38. Now, if it was just for the 5 hours that I've done from 4:15 till 9:15, it's worked out I was on about £21 an hour, which isn't too bad. Like I said, that's comparable to some Friday and Saturdays, to be honest. However, when you then include the 2.5 hours this morning, the hourly rate drops then to just over £18 an hour. So it just goes to show, if you come out in those dead hours, I came out at 10, you know, and then I was home by 12:30. And yeah, I had a couple of jobs, but it was really quiet. So yeah, I've come home a little bit earlier tonight because obviously I'm going to come out in the morning and I'm going to do that job that I've got booked with A1. Yeah, so I've decided I'll go and do that. Only because, where's it go? Upcoming, there it is. I still don't know how to use the app. Only because it's a decent paying job, £35. So I'll come out a little bit earlier. I'll try and come out for about 7, and then I can try kind of head in that general direction and try and pick up maybe some of like the early morning ones, people going to and from work and whatnot. And then when I drop them off, it's not a million miles from my house. It's not long after that I'm having my hair cut, and then if it's quiet, I'll come back home for a little bit, and then I'll then head off out again, and then I'll be staying out then all day and all night until I've had enough, obviously with it being Friday. So it'll just be a good little way to get the day started. That 35 plus, if I make another £20-30 on Uber in between that, you know, it'd be, yeah, it'll get the day going. So yeah, other than that, that's it. I've done bang on 150 miles today, all from a home charge. The majority was last night's charge, so it was only 7p a kilowatt. But I did top up again today when I came back home, but that probably would have been like, I don't know, 50 pence worth or something. Not a great deal. So all in all, not too bad for the amount of hours that I've done. So yeah, that's about it. So I will catch you tomorrow. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.